Asher Edelson is a 22-year-old living with Tourette's syndrome. He's conquered every challenge, even while he's living life a little differently.
He was diagnosed when he was 7 years old, and partly it was a relief because we finally found out there's a name for what is going on with him.
I guess on the one hand, I'm glad it wasn't something much worse. There are people that have diagnoses and problems that are worse, you know, and we see that over the years, and we're like, thank goodness we don't have that problem.
Once we knew what it was, we could then try to help him and then be able to look for resources and how to help somebody with Tourette's syndrome. On the other hand, to find out that your child is not like everybody else is not always the easiest thing.
You know, we'll just be supportive and understanding, and it had some challenges.
What are your day-to-day struggles with Tourette's syndrome?
Pretty much with everything I do, whether it's driving, playing video games, taking something out of the fridge, or feeding my cats. I mean, a tic can develop off of just about anything that I do, whether it's easy or hard or important or not. So mainly it just holds me back. It doesn't stop me from driving or public speaking, hanging out with friends, or doing what I gotta do day to day. Just makes things a little more difficult.
Tell me, what else are you into? What else do you do?
What else am I into?
Like you play piano, right?
Oh yeah, I'm into piano. I'm into my kitty cats, like Tommy and Judy. Soon I'm going to be getting a new one because I'm really taking good care of them.
Well, with Tourette's syndrome, I don't know if there's different types, but there's different severities. So his would be more on the severe end. While some people might have Tourette's, maybe they have very small tics that are barely noticeable or barely audible. His are quite loud, and his movements are quite big and very visible and constant.
Tourette's syndrome is a diagnosis that is characterized by abnormal involuntary movements, which could be motor movements, but also may be associated with sounds, and that is called vocal tics. The vocal tics could be sniffing sounds, coughing sounds, whispering sounds, yelling sounds, or the need to repeat bad words.
Okay, do you remember what it was like being diagnosed?
Yeah, I was already kind of a black sheep, so to speak. So it didn't really surprise me that much. I already knew I had something that made me a little different, you know, besides being Jewish in Florida. It didn't surprise me much. It was good that I was diagnosed because my parents and different support systems knew how to help me through all the challenges that I was going to be going through, which if I didn't have that help and those accommodations, I would have been not as well off as I would have been, and you know, that would be a shame if I didn't get to do some of the things that I've already done.
Asher, can you stop? Asher, show me how you can stop. Just show me how you stop.
What would you say to the people that have laughed or pointed at Asher because of his Tourette's?
I wouldn't get mad. I would just explain to them that he has Tourette's syndrome, and he's not really doing that to be funny.
I've always been somebody who doesn't like when other people judge people for being different. And I know he's this glaring, different person when he walks down the street. And what I would say to those other people, of course, is that they're, you know, ignorant because they don't even understand what he has, and not realizing that he's fine in every other way. He's intelligent, and he's funny, and he's kind, and he's so personable and friendly and wonderful with all people, and that he's going to be very, very successful. He already is being able to overcome all the obstacles he has to in order just to do what everybody else does easily.
If there is someone watching who is dealing with Tourette's or something similar, what would you like them to know?
That you don't have to hide who you are. You don't have to pretend that it's something that should hold you back from doing what you feel you need to do or what you want to do. I wouldn't lie to them either. Depending on how severe your tics are, it can definitely be a challenge. Don't ever think that it's not. But think of it like an obstacle that you can overcome. And overcoming that obstacle just makes you that more awesome at whatever it is that you decide to do, whether it's playing sports or performing or anything that's out there. I think it's a shame that some people use it as a means of absolute barrier. But rather it's just a different way of living, like with any other type of different ability. I would say just keep trekking on and keep your eye on the prize and don't let people tell you that you can't do something just because you're a little different.